Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape the world, but to enter it more deeply. Beneath the noise of thought, beneath the relentless pull of time, there is a pulse. Not the one beating in your chest, but one that vibrates beneath existence itself. It is ancient, silent, and omnipresent. It is the frequency from which all things arise. This is the energy you are made of. Everything is energy. You've heard the phrase perhaps too many times, but rarely do we stop to feel it, to recognize that every thought, every object, every memory, every hope, every cell vibrates. And vibration is not metaphor, it is the literal nature of being. Quantum fields dance, molecules hum, even stillness vibrates, and so do you. You are not just interacting with the world, you are co-vibrating with it. Your internal state is not separate from your external reality, it is a tuning fork. When Rupert Sheldrake speaks of morphic resonance, he points toward a field of shared memory, a resonance that shapes form and function. You are not just a body in space, you are a waveform within a larger song, constantly harmonizing or clashing with the energy around you. This means your intention carries weight. Your emotional signature echoes beyond the surface. When you learn to vibrate with precision, through presence, gratitude, clarity, you begin to mold reality not through effort, but alignment. Not by force, but by frequency. To vibrate correctly is not to manipulate the universe. It is to surrender to its rhythm. It is to remember that the energy you emit becomes the pattern you experience. Reality is not something that happens to you. It is something that responds to you, and it listens not to your words, but to your vibration. So, let us begin not by trying, but by listening. Listen to the silence beneath your thoughts. Listen to the stillness behind your breath. There, in that subtle realm, you will find the first key: presence. Not as a concept, but as a vibration. A portal to your true power. If these words have already touched your soul, subscribe to the channel and share in the comments. What vibration are you feeling inside right now? Now let's continue. Pause and observe what you are holding within you right now. Not in your hands, but in your field. Every thought you sustain, every feeling you nurture, radiates. Intention is not a mental construct. It is architecture, a geometry vibrating invisibly, shaping what unfolds before you. We were never taught this, not truly. We were told to act, to plan, to strive. But seldom were we shown that the quality of our vibration precedes action, that the how of our being defines the what of our outcomes. And this is the essence of spiritual alchemy, not to change the world by effort, but by frequency. When you hold a clear, coherent intention, one rooted not in desperation, but in knowing, you emit a signal. Rupert Sheldrake's notion of morphic fields suggests that such signals are not isolated. They enter the collective memory of consciousness itself. They ripple through the invisible lattice that binds all things. This means your inner alignment doesn't just shift your life, it shifts life. But what is a pure intention? It is not desire clothed in fear. It is not a wish born from lack. A pure intention is an extension of essence. It is felt as calm certainty, not anxious hope. It arrives when you are attuned, not controlling. You've likely felt this before, a moment where you knew something would happen, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. That knowing is vibration. It is coherence. In those moments, reality responds almost effortlessly. Synchronicities emerge. Doors open. The right words find you, not because you chased them, but because you vibrated into their presence. This is the forgotten science of energy. What you become inwardly becomes the landscape outwardly. And yet we clutter our vibration with noise. Doubt, overthinking, resistance. These are distortions in the signal. They blur the geometry of our intention. So today, Let this be a quiet experiment. Rather than asking for something, become the vibration of it. Not later, now. Embody the resonance of trust, of abundance, of love. Let it fill your cells. Let it breathe through your presence. And then watch silently how the field begins to echo you back. The universe is listening, but it listens in silence through frequency. And your intention is the sacred code it deciphers. What if your life is not defined by events, but by the frequency you live within? Not the things that happen, but the energy you carry through them. Most walk through reality unaware of the subtle tones they emit, tones of fear, of scarcity, of longing, and the world, in response, mirrors back more of the same, not as punishment, but as resonance. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is not philosophy, it is energetic law. It is felt in the silence between words, in the space between breaths. Every moment you are broadcasting a signal, not with effort but by being. That signal is the invitation you send to the universe. The question then is not, what do I need to fix? The question is, what frequency am I inhabiting? There is a place within you that already holds the frequency of peace, a place that is untouched by the rush, the wounds, the noise. It is not far, it is here. But to enter it, you must slow down. You must listen beyond the surface of your thoughts. This is not meditation as technique, it is return, a return to your natural frequency. In the research of Sheldrake and others, the idea of fields of memory, morphic resonance, suggests that frequencies are shared, not isolated. That means your shift becomes a beacon, a ripple across the grid of consciousness. You are not changing your life alone. You are participating in the elevation of a collective field. This is why presence is so powerful. When you inhabit the frequency of now, fully, vulnerably, you anchor a new harmonic into the fabric of reality. Others feel it even if they can't explain it. It calms, awakens, opens, but this takes courage. To hold a high frequency in a low vibrational world is to swim upstream. It is to face your inner noise and not run. It is to choose coherence over chaos, clarity over confusion. And so, ask gently, what frequency is my body vibrating right now? Let your awareness soften, listen, adjust, return. You are not broken. You are simply remembering the tone of your original self. The frequencies we inhabit become the worlds we live in. Choose yours with reverence. You walk through your life as if the world were fixed, separate, static, but nothing around you is truly solid. All matter, all form is vibration slowed into density. What you call reality is not a structure, it is a reflection, a mirror that takes its shape from the silent tones you carry within. Every emotion is a frequency, every belief a resonance pattern. When you believe the world is unsafe, you vibrate in defense, and life reflects back threat. When you believe you are unworthy, your vibration filters out abundance because it cannot resonate with what you don't allow yourself to hold. This is not metaphysics, it is coherence, and coherence is the new intelligence. The universe listens not to your effort, but to your alignment. It does not respond to your words, but to the vibration beneath them. Rupert Sheldrake's vision of morphic resonance whispers that form is secondary. First comes pattern, first comes field. In the invisible tapestry of consciousness, your frequency doesn't just matter, it shapes matter. So pause. What story are you vibrating into the world today? Is it rooted in fear, in lack, in rush? Or is it the soft hum of surrender, the gentle echo of presence, the clarity of knowing? To vibrate correctly is not to pretend. It is not a mask of positivity. It is authenticity tuned to essence. It is the inner harmony that arises when you stop resisting what is and begin vibrating as who you truly are. And who are you? Not your past, not your roles. You are a field of awareness capable of choosing its frequency in every breath. You are not stuck. You are vibrating, always. And in every moment, that vibration is creating the next reflection you will walk into. Reality is not linear. It is responsive. It curves around your energy. Like water around a stone, it adjusts to your presence. The more still and coherent you become, the more life begins to echo back grace, clarity, and quiet miracles. There is nothing to force, only something to tune. And in the act of tuning, the world changes, not because it must, but because it can finally meet you at the level of your truth. So remember, you are not here to chase. You are here to resonate. There is a current beneath life. Not seen, not named, yet always present. It flows beneath the movements of thought, beneath the rhythms of time. It is not chaotic, it is intelligent. A consciousness without face, yet full of form. And to vibrate correctly is to attune yourself to this current, not to control it, but to join it. You have felt this current before. In those moments of still clarity when time softens and you feel guided, when coincidences seem woven with meaning, when the right person appears, the path opens, or silence speaks louder than words. These are not accidents. They are signals, echoes of a deeper coherence trying to meet you. Rupert Sheldrake's work points toward the presence of fields that carry memory, intention, and structure. The past informs the present, not through cause, but through resonance. This means that by shifting your inner state, you don't just break free from patterns, you stop resonating with them entirely. They no longer find you, you become invisible to their pull. But how do we attune to something we cannot see? We begin by slowing. The ego rushes, the field flows. Slowness allows perception. Through silence, breath, and sensation, we begin to feel the subtle instructions of the now. Life is always whispering, but only those attuned can hear. Your body is a receptor. Your emotions are not interruptions. They are data. When you feel constricted, it's a vibrational misalignment. When you feel expanded, it's a signal of harmony. Learn to read the signs, not with logic, but with inner stillness. Attunement is not a single act. It is a practice, a daily returning to presence. To choose to respond rather than react, to sense rather than force, to feel the invitation of each moment rather than impose a plan upon it. The more you live this way, the more life begins to reveal its hidden architecture. You find yourself in the right places, with the right people, speaking the right words, not by effort, but by resonance. You are not alone in this field. The current knows you. And when you begin to know it, not intellectually but vibrationally, you awaken to a different reality, one where synchronicity becomes the language and trust the navigation. Attune deeply, and the invisible will become your guide. Trust is not a belief, it is a vibration. It is not a passive hope, but an active resonance, a deep cellular knowing that life, in its mysterious intelligence, is unfolding not against you, but through you. Trust is what you feel when you're no longer trying to manipulate the moment, but allowing it to reveal what it always intended. Most have been conditioned to trust only after proof, but the vibrational field works in reverse. Proof follows trust. Life mirrors your inner certainty, not your surface thoughts, but your embodied frequency. When you truly trust, your field becomes coherent, open, aligned, and from this place life begins to flow, not because you deserve it, but because you're resonating with it. Rupert Sheldrake reminds us that fields carry more than form. They carry patterns of behavior, memory, expectation. When you vibrate with doubt, you reinforce the field of limitation. But when you vibrate with trust, you activate latent possibilities that could not previously find you. You begin to operate from a field of permission, where your desires are not distant dreams, but natural reflections. To trust does not mean to ignore fear. It means to see fear and still choose coherence. It means to feel the uncertainty and stay open anyway. The vibration of trust is subtle. It has no noise, no panic. It is calm, spacious, alive. It does not rush to conclusions because it already knows it is held. When you hold this frequency, life becomes rhythmic. You no longer chase answers, they arrive. You don't force outcomes, they unfold. You find yourself in a state of relaxed readiness where intuition sharpens and resistance dissolves. And yet, trust must be chosen again and again, especially when the visible world seems out of alignment. This is the great initiation, to choose inner resonance over external appearances, to feel beyond what is seen, to be the vibration before the reflection arrives. You are not being tested, you are being attuned. Every delay, every silence, every pause is a call to deepen your frequency, not as punishment, but as preparation. So breathe. Place your awareness in your heart. Feel the pulse beneath your story. That pulse is truth, that stillness is intelligence. And when you trust it, you step into alignment with the very frequency that creates worlds. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a magnetic field, a silent force that draws into your experience the echoes of its own vibration. When you dwell in gratitude, you are not reacting to what is, you are co-creating what can be. You are tuning your energy to the frequency of abundance, and the field responds in kind. True gratitude is not conditional. It does not wait for perfect outcomes. It arises in the present for what already is, no matter how subtle. It is the soft reverence for breath, for warmth, for awareness itself. And in this resonance, you stop resisting life and begin harmonizing with it. Rupert Sheldrake's understanding of morphic resonance invites us to see that feelings, thoughts, even states of being ripple through the collective. When you choose gratitude, you are not only transforming your own experience, you are feeding that vibration into the global field. You are amplifying coherence. Gratitude reorganizes perception. It turns obstacles into initiations. It turns delays into alignments. It takes what the ego deems insufficient and reveals its hidden sufficiency. You begin to see that everything carries a gift, not as sentiment, but as energetic truth. And so, practice becomes the key. To feel gratitude without waiting for a reason. To offer thanks before outcomes. This is not fantasy, it is mastery. Because when you vibrate gratitude without demand, you are telling the universe, I already trust, I already receive, I already see the beauty unfolding, even in silence. This is why gratitude is so powerful. It anchors you in the now, while simultaneously creating the conditions for more. It bridges presence and possibility. It transforms your frequency from seeking to receiving. Begin simply. Feel into your breath, into the quiet intelligence guiding your life, even when you don't understand it. Feel the support that arrives in invisible ways, the synchronicities, the lessons, the moments of awe. Let that feeling expand, not as thought, but as frequency. Let it saturate your field, and then watch. Watch how life begins to shift. Not because it owes you, but because it now recognizes you. Your vibration has changed, and so must the reflection. Gratitude is not a reaction, it is a vibration of remembrance. It is the energy of already having, and that is creation in its purest form. There is a sacred paradox within creation. The more tightly you cling, the more reality resists. Desire, when gripped with fear, contracts the field, but when released with trust, it expands it. Letting go is not giving up. It is the highest act of alignment. It is the alchemy of returning to resonance. You were taught to hold on, to control, to define outcomes. But vibration does not work through force, it works through flow. And flow requires space. When you release the need to possess, you become available to receive, not just what you wanted, but what is most aligned. In Rupert Sheldrake's vision, the morphic field is shaped not by rigid will, but by repeated resonance. Letting go allows the field to reorganize, to move beyond the limits of your imagination, to evolve. What you let go of, you no longer resist. And what you no longer resist transforms. This is the vibrational law. Attachment creates interference. It clouds your frequency with doubt, urgency, and noise. But detachment clears the channel. It says to the universe, I trust the intelligence beyond my plan. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means attunement. It is to know what you desire, to vibrate with it fully, and then to release the grip, to let it be guided by the deeper intelligence of the field. Like planting a seed and trusting the soil. This is the vibration of maturity, to feel desire without obsession, to envision without addiction, to act without attachment. Here, your energy becomes pure, clean, radiant. And reality, freed from the distortion of need, can finally respond. Look into your life. Where are you clinging? Where has your vibration tightened, narrowed, fixated? Now breathe into that space, soften it, surrender, not the desire but the grasping. Allow life to surprise you. Detachment is not absence, it is spacious presence. It is the calm knowing that what is meant for you cannot be lost, and what is not cannot be forced. In this space, miracles unfold. Not because you chased them, but because you became the version of yourself who no longer needed to chase. Letting go is not the end of creation. It is the point at which creation truly begins. You have journeyed through energy, intention, trust, gratitude, and surrender, not as concepts but as frequencies. Now there is one final truth to anchor within. You do not merely use vibration, you are vibration. You are not the observer of energy, you are its expression. This is the moment of embodiment, where practice becomes presence, where alignment is no longer something you seek, but something you radiate effortlessly, silently, constantly. To become the frequency is to no longer oscillate between belief and doubt. It is to walk as coherence, to live as the signal you once tried to send. Reality bends around the consistent field. The more stable your vibration, the clearer the reflection. Not perfect, not without contrast, but anchored, steady, a lighthouse instead of a seeker. Rupert Sheldrake's work reveals that collective fields evolve through repetition. And so, as you become the frequency, you are not only shaping your life, you are becoming a reference point for others. Your coherence becomes a silent invitation. You change the field simply by existing in alignment. This is how new realities are born, not through force or mass awakening, but through one being, fully tuned, radiating truth. Your vibration becomes architecture. Your presence becomes guidance. Your stillness becomes transmission. You will still have moments of forgetting. That is natural. But now you know the way back. It is not a path of effort, but of remembrance. A return to breath, to silence, to sensation. The frequency is always here. It never left. Only your attention did. So choose again. In every moment, choose to tune, to refine, to listen. Let every interaction, every step, every breath become an expression of your inner harmony. Let your life hum with the frequency of truth, beauty, clarity. You do not need to convince the world. You only need to be. The field will do the rest, and so we end, not with a conclusion, but with a beginning. A silent doorway now open, a deeper way of moving through the seen and the unseen. You are not here to change reality. You are here to resonate with it, purely, fully, consciously. And in doing so, Reality changes you.